Hi guys, it's Emmy. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can grow your glutes and how I have grown mine over these past few months, and I'm just going to be giving you all the tips and tricks on how to do it. So this video is going to be split into sections, so I'm going to start out with food, what you should be eating, how much you should be eating, then I'm going to move into more of workouts, what types of workouts you should be doing, and I'm going to be giving you like an example workout. I'm going to be actually doing the workout in this video, and then at the end I'm just going to give some more tips and tricks. So yeah, let's get into it. I will add in this disclaimer: if you are a complete beginner to any of this and like the types of workouts as resistance training, which is lifting weights, strength training, you will see results no matter what. So if you begin doing those types of workouts, you will see results. Like for me, when I first started strength training over this past summer, I was able to grow my glutes, but then I kind of reached a point where I wanted to grow them more. So yeah, you will have some beginner gains, but that can only take you so far. So when it comes to food, just in general, to build any type of muscle, whether it be your glutes or you just want to add muscle to your body, you need to be eating enough food, and specifically enough protein in your diet. If you aren't eating enough food, you will not be able to add on the muscle that you want, and you won't be able to actually grow your glutes. So in all honesty, to really add on muscle, I would suggest going in a caloric surplus, meaning that you're eating more 300 to 500 calories over your maintenance calories. So maintenance calories is when you're not losing or gaining weight, you're just staying at the same weight. Obviously there'll be little fluctuations in your weight, but generally you're in the same range. That is your maintenance calories. And so to figure out all your maintenance calories and everything, there are calculators online that can estimate that for you. Each calculator will have a little bit of a different calculation, but it'll give you an estimate of where you're at. And so 300 to 500 calories over that would be a caloric surplus. And when you're eating that much food, it's really easy, well, it's easier to add on muscle, and you want to stay in that caloric surplus for at least a few months. I was just in a caloric surplus, meaning a bulk, for like 4 months or so. And now I'm just at maintenance, and eventually I'm going to go into a cut shortly. So in that time that I was in a bulk and caloric surplus, I was definitely able to add on a lot of muscle and just become so much stronger throughout that. So that is how I grew my glutes, was just simply I was eating enough and fueling myself enough and doing the right workouts to have this growth. You don't want to add 500 calories right away. You want to do slow increases week by week, see how your body's responding, and yeah, just kind of go based off of that. I know I keep saying you want to eat more, but you also want to eat the right food. And so what this means is you don't just want to fuel up on junk food because you won't feel well. You will gain more fat than you want. You want to make sure you're eating whole foods that are nutritiously dense. You just don't want to be eating an extra bag of chips to reach your calories. You actually want to be eating healthy things like an extra bowl of fruit or something. You also want to be prioritizing protein, specifically at every meal. Most people do not eat enough protein, and if you aren't sure of how much protein you're eating, I would suggest tracking it. So for a sedentary person, you should at least be eating 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. So for if you're actually wanting to add a muscle, you need to be eating more than that. That is just for like an average person who doesn't want to add on muscle. And with this eating more protein, you want to try to get it from actual sources of protein versus just drinking a bunch of protein shakes, because those are supplements, so you want to supplement last. I do often have a protein shake, but I am also getting my protein from like whole sources of protein. So for me, I eat Greek yogurt every day. I have eggs a lot, egg whites. I'll eat chicken, turkey, these like cheese and meat roll-ups, cheese sticks, or like the Baby Bell cheeses have a little bit of protein. You can eat cottage cheese, that has protein, any meat in general. I don't really eat red meat, so I just kind of stick with chicken and turkey. And then once I've eaten like all of those whole sources of protein for the day, then I'll supplement in with like protein oats, and I'll add protein powder into the oatmeal, protein bars, stuff like that. But definitely you want to focus on getting like actual protein in first over supplements. So now we're gonna move into what types of exercises you should be doing. So essentially you want to be resistance training, which means like lifting weights. You want to cut down on the cardio, and I'm talking about moves like hip thrusts, deadlifts, reverse lunges, any type of lunge really, like walking lunges, Romanian deadlifts, single leg deadlifts, really just those types of basic movements, squats. Yeah, moves like that is what you want to be focusing on. And while doing these moves, you want to make sure you're challenging yourself enough with the weight. If you're really trying to build on muscle, I would say you should be in 1 to 3 reps of failure for your sets. So meaning you're like dying at the last few reps, you absolutely can't do anymore. You don't always have to go to complete failure where you fail rep, like say you're in a squat and you can't lift back up. You don't have to go completely to that every time, because that can actually be really damaging, but you should be 1 to 3 reps of that. You don't want to finish a set of squats and be like, oh, I could have done like 5 more. That's not where you want to be. And you want to focus on progressive overload. A way to progressive overload is increasing the weight every week, every few weeks, just adding on like 5 pounds if you can, or you can do it with like more reps. You can manipulate the reps. You can manipulate adding pauses into your moves, like say for a squat you pause at the bottom for like 3 seconds and then come back up. I did make a video how to get stronger, or how to increase your strength, that I'll link below, that talks more in depth about progressive overload. And if this sounds confusing at all to you, I am running you through a quick demonstration workout of what a good leg day should be to increase your glute size. So we'll get into that demonstration right now. Okay guys, so I'm going to be walking you through this glute workout. I'm going to put a little graphic at the end of like this workout that you can screenshot with all the sets and reps and all the moves listed. So I'm just going to run you through it right now. So the first one we have is a barbell back squat. I'm not going to use any weight like on the barbell for this demonstration. Yeah, let's get into it. So this first move is a barbell back squat. If you're afraid of a barbell, I highly suggest getting comfortable using one, because that is where you will really be able to add on some muscle and really just build strength. But if you are a complete beginner, you can't lift the barbell, you can opt for dumbbells for all of these moves. Yeah, every move can be changed into a dumbbell move. So I'm just going to show you with the barbell. So barbell back squat, set it up. It should be set to about your shoulder height, so you don't have to like go on your tippy toes to like lift it off the rack or anything, like off of this. And make sure you have a spotter, have something here just in case. So you grab the barbell, tuck your head under, place the barbell on your traps right here, or you can place it as a low bar squat, but we'll just do it on our traps right here. So you come up, take a few steps back, spread your feet apart. I like to do a little bit of a wider stance with my feet a little bit turned out. And then you sit down. Make sure your back is straight, your neck is neutral, knees go over the toes, and come back up. Again, down. You want to make sure you're going down pretty far, but make sure your butt is staying out and it doesn't like tuck under. Come back up, down, come back up. And when you're done, just place it on here. So in between sets, you're gonna have a rest. And for any types of moves, like with barbell, I would suggest resting like 1:30 to 2 minutes. That just makes sure you're fully rested for the next set, so you're not tired going into your next set and then you end up like struggling really hard and not being able to do your best. So the next move is a barbell reverse lunge. Again, you can change this to holding 2 dumbbells by your side, but highly suggest using the barbell. So the trick to really targeting your glutes in this lunge is when you're at the bottom, you're leaning forward with your torso and really pressing through that front heel to come up. With a slight lean forward, it will really target your glutes. Essentially the same setup as a barbell back squat. Place it on your traps. You kind of squeeze your shoulders back together, come up, and then take a few steps back, get positioned, step back, and come up. Make sure your hips are both facing forward. Keep your back straight, neck neutral. Again, really stepping through that front heel. And that is a barbell reverse lunge. So the next move is another barbell move. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to get comfortable with using a barbell. But this is a Barbell Rdl. Again, you can hold 2 dumbbells and do the same movement. So what you do is you can place it on like the squat rack, like the little, I don't even know what these are called, these things right here. Or you can have it on the ground with weights and like deadlift it up and then go into it. But it is easier to do it this way. Grab the barbell. You want to be just like down from your shoulders, grabbing it. Come up, back up. Feet about like hip width apart, shoulder width apart. Tuck your lats back and down like your shoulder blades. And then you hinge from your hips. So hinge from your hips, come down till you feel a stretch in your hamstrings and glutes, and squeeze your glutes to stand back up. Hinge down, stop here, and come back up. You will only want to go as far as you feel the stretch. You don't want to go any lower than your back parallel to the floor, because that can hurt your lower back. I keep my chin tucked, so again, I'm not putting pressure on my lower back by having my neck all craned up while I'm leaning down. Another thing is when you're hinging, your torso will naturally fall forward, so don't think about lifting your torso up and down. And I do have a slight bend in my knees. The more bend you have, the more it will hit your glutes. If you're having trouble with the hip hinging motion, put your hands on your hips and think of a door back here that's open and you're trying to close it with your glutes. Come back up, hinge, come back up. A lot of people, when they're learning this move, they will hinge and squat. Do not squat at all. It's not a squat, it is a hip hinge. So your hips are essentially just going back and forth like this. So that is a Barbell Rdl. And the last move is going to be a dumbbell glute bridge. So what you do is you lay on the floor, feet a little bit further than hip width apart. You place the dumbbell on your hip area. I need to take my clip out. You press through your heels, squeeze your glutes, keep your pelvis tucked in. Come up. I'm squeezing my glutes to raise myself up and then lower down. Squeeze my glutes. Pelvis is tucked. I'm not arching my back. And come back down. Another thing is you don't have to go super high up because then you will start to like curve your spine. So just go as high as you can. You don't have to go super high with keeping a straight back. And then lower down. And when you lower down as like one whole unit. You're not like curving your spine like this. Make sure to keep your back straight. And make sure you control the way up and the way down. So that is the glute workout I have for you. It's only 4 moves because you can really put all your intensity into those 4 moves and like all your effort. You're not thinking about having a move towards the end of the workout, so you're like saving your energy at the beginning You don't have to worry about that. It's only 4 moves, so you can really like get a great workout with only 4 moves. So don't worry about it only being 4 moves. I promise it will probably be more effective than a 8-move workout. And that's just like a tip for all workouts. Your workouts should probably stick with between like 4 to 6 moves if you're going for like strength training, just so you can put all your effort into those moves. So yeah, that is just like a general rule that I like to follow. So here are some other great moves to do. This is a Sumo Deadlift, so just a deadlift with a wide stance. This is a hip thrust. I was doing a tempo, so I held at the top. You can do normal tempo, or you can do a tempo where you go slow on the way down. Here is some regular deadlifts. These are also great for growing your glutes. And you can also use a trap bar. These are Bulgarian split squats. These are very good for growing your glutes. You can also do these on a Smith machine. Here I was holding a little bit at the bottom just for some tempo work. Tempo is always a great way to change up your workouts. And here are single leg deadlifts. You can also do it with your foot on the ground behind you just for some balance. Those are B stance deadlifts. So I'm editing this video right now, and I just want to emphasize that your workouts shouldn't all consist of only like barbell moves. Like it shouldn't be like a deadlift, then a squat, then a hip thrust. You're just going to get way too tired out for that. So you want to structure your workouts like first starting out with a squat, and then you want to maybe do some RDLs, and then you go into some lighter dumbbell moves like Bulgarian split squats, or like reverse lunges, something lighter like that. Or if you want to do, let's say, hip thrusts first, and then you want to go to RDLs, or then you go to, let's see, like reverse lunge with dumbbells, and then you finish out with like some glute bridges, like something lighter at the end and heavier at the beginning. You don't want to go all super heavy for your entire workout. Like you will get worn out and it just wouldn't be as good. You do not want to be training legs every single day. You should be training them 2 to 3 times a week if that is your goal. If you're new to strength training, don't like commit yourself to training legs 3 times a week and then working out so many times a week, because then you'll get overwhelmed. And don't only train your legs, you should still train your upper body too. So like an example workout split, if you want to work out 4 days a week, you can do legs twice a week and do upper body twice a week. So go legs, upper body, legs, upper body. Or if you want to do 5 days a week, you can do legs, upper body, legs, upper body, legs. Or you can do legs, upper body, legs, upper body, full body. And you want to give yourself rest days, because that is when your muscle will actually grow and your muscle repairs, because when you're working out, you're breaking down your muscle, and so it needs rest to actually build and repair and become larger and stronger. So do not skip any rest days, because if you do and you train legs too many days in a row or too often without any rest, then you're essentially just breaking down that muscle and it's not repairing and getting stronger, and then you won't see results that you want. And lastly, remember that things take time and consistency. You won't see results right away. Mainly you'll see results like at least like 3 months, but honestly it's a whole process. And yeah, if you want to like notice your results more, definitely take progress pictures like each week, because then you'll be able to see the changes more. Because if you're looking at yourself every day, you won't really notice the changes, but if you take progress pictures each week, you'll notice the small changes, and you'll see big changes at least 3 months into it. Like I would expect you to wait that long before you actually see big results. You obviously will see some results, but yeah, definitely it's gonna take time, and you have to be consistent with everything. If you're not consistent, you will not see results. It's as simple as that. If you really want it, you'll actually work for it and stay committed. So that is the end of the video. I hope you found this helpful. If you want more videos like this, let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!